back to Hull, which is like predecessor to Re.Pack. I'm just curious, is that also why this project, despite being, I guess, quite popular and conceptually offering the same thing as Re.Pack, never really got to the point where you were kind of satisfied with it and had stable feature set, and eventually now it is sort of discounted in favor of Re.Pack. So I'm just trying to understand what specifically led to that decision, that Hull never really got into a stable phase.
Yeah, so the main problem with Hull was its architecture. We designed Hull to encapsulate Webpack under the hood. So Hull had its own configuration file, and we had to maintain that configuration file. We had to maintain all the documentation for it, while we still were using Webpack under the hood, and had to convert from our configuration file format to Webpack's one, so that Webpack can actually run. And because we hid Webpack behind this facade, the issues that people had with Webpack were also our issues, because they were opening new issues on GitHub to our project instead of Webpack, while a lot of the problems that developers had were already solved and you could find them on Webpack's GitHub. So that was the one thing. And another was that because of this maintenance overhead, the feature development velocity was low. So it was difficult to develop new features, and sometimes even impossible or not feasible, like in case of React Refresh. The whole architecture didn't really work in a way that would allow us to do that, especially since we had to also support RAM bundles, which complicated the whole code to a point that it was just not possible to implement latest and greatest features that Metro had.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I can definitely relate that. Over time, I've also learned that sometimes building these nice abstractions while making it easier for developers to use, sometimes it's just not paying off in the long term.